Hi, this is Gaurav. I'm from Vector Edge. We are trying to solve a problem of proactive authorization or access right management for homegrown cloud application for enterprises. Nowadays, each application uses different authorization or access right management system for assigning various access right to their employees for various cloud resources and endpoints. To overcome this problem, we came up with a solution named Vector Edge. So we came up with a solution where we combine all the access right for the various applications in a single plane, and then we can control it by defining a unified policy. So today I'm going to give a demo for our simple clinical app. In this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the capability of how we can create Kubernetes network from our dashboard. Then we are going to use the Docker image that we have used for this clinical app. So what this clinical app do? This is a simple clinical app which has three pages. One is home page, one is booking, and one is appointment, and third one is billing. So what I'm going to do is at this time this URL is open for everyone, and anyone can access all these three pages. So with my policy definition, what I will do is I will create different roles and assign these endpoints to different roles. So certain role will see certain endpoints on the pages or the web page, whereas the other role will have access to different pages. Okay, so this is our dashboard. Once you come to our dashboard, you come and create an app. This app is synonym to the app application that is your homegrown application. So this is a Kubernetes 8 app I'm going to create. So this is, let's say, clinical demo app 1.1. Maybe add resource. So now I'm going to create a stateless service. We can create stateful and daemon service as required for this application. For this demo, I'm going to create a stateless service. I'm going to create a endpoint. Endpoint is nothing but the web pages which we want to restrict the access. So this is critical weight. This tells us this. I'm going to tell you how we are going to use it. That I'm going to add three different you can say endpoints. And next, I'm going to add one more point, which is for appointment. So I've added all three different endpoints. Now for deployment, these are parameters required to configure our Kubernetes. The port is going to be 80. So I'm taking care of all the essential inputs that I need to use at this time. For container, we have created our own Docker repository. So I'm accessing my image from that Docker repository. I define the port on which I want to communicate. That port. Then the configuration of Docker image. Next add. So now I'm just skipping and adding this resource. Find the resource got added. Now I'm going to use the IDP. So currently we are using Google IDP. So I'm just hiding my credentials. You can give your credential over here. So now I will sync the user. We'll go ahead and sync all the users linked with my IDP. So if you see manage user, you can see all the users which are added in my IDP came here and the roles which are various roles that we have defined are here. So we have synced. Now we'll say next. So this is done. Now we add policy. This policy is made for defining or applying the access manager. Now I'm adding the role equal to, let's say, clinical manager. Add condition. That's all. Add rule. So now I am assigning all the endpoints to this in the method get. So home, we have added three endpoints. So I'm adding all three over here. So I've given access to all three endpoints that I have to manager. Fine. I will add one more for executive. Hopefully I am next. And I will choose the role executive here. Technical executive. Next. And I will add, say, home and yeah. And one more that I will add is the bill register. So anyone can register, but billing can be seen only by manager. Okay, it's done. So I've created two policies here. Now I will just say next. So it will apply and create OPA file. So this is our clinical demo app that we have created. Now we can see pipeline as a code, where you can see like what all various steps that we are going to take to validate our Kubernetes network. We first build Vigo file, then build YML file, and then do the resource validation. We can check the state. So this is done. It's already green. You can see 200 status code. This is also done. So now it has created the file. So these are the Rigo file with the policy, with the policies that we have created. Next step is to create a site object. Site object is nothing but an let me call it demo. Yeah. So this site object, what it will do is it will create a bridge between the kind of resource that we want to use and the application. So currently we are using currently I'm using AWS. We can use Azure GCP also. So I'm hiding my secret and hiding. I need one master node and two worker node to run my clinical app. So T2 medium I require for this. T2 medium I require for this. So basically you can change and add which configuration server you want. Next, now I have to select the application. So basically you can club the application that we have created with the site. Yeah, so I will club my clinical demo app with the site object that I have created, and I will say deploy. Once I will say deploy, it will create the similar infrastructure file that are required for site. You can see as we provide pipeline as a code, you can see various steps that it's going to use. We can see where exactly it is. At this time, it's building the image. After that, it will actually go ahead and build the infrastructure. So building infrastructure is actually we go ahead and create EC2 instance on AWS. So this will take a little bit time. So if you see instance EC2, so this is pending. So this started. So this instance started new. Okay. So it will take a little bit time. Okay, so now our instance got launched. So okay, so now our instance got launched. So this is the IP of our instance where our Kubernetes app is running. Oh, this is worker node. This is the master node. So this IP we need. Okay, so our Kubernetes master node got launched. So this is the IP that we got. So here we go. Fine. So this launched for my Google IDP credentials. So you can see this. It launched this application. I can go to home page. I can go to appointment page. Sorry, this book appointment page, or I can go to billing page. Fine. Now what I will do is I will start a new uh, incognito mode. So now I'm going to start recording. Start. So now I'm going to start a new window in incognito mode for a new user. So here I will change the user with the lesser permission, with the different permission than the before. Uh, okay, so we can see this user also have the home permission and the book appointment permission. But if you remember, I have restricted this user from the billing. So if I go and access billing, it says that access denied. So what we have shown here is that using our policy that we defined, we can restrict access of various users or the various roles from different endpoints. So I have given you the demo with the various roles, how we are controlling various web pages. You remember I have given something called a critical weight. So in our system, we are assessing the risk permissions for each user. So what all roles have given various permissions. So we try to assess the risk of each resource, and we come up with this kind of resource permission matrix. Using this, we also provide with the PAM audit report. With this PAM audit report, we are able to identify which user having the riskiest permission or which app is having the riskiest permission. Using these parameters, we trigger red flag to admin or to desired user, and then they can take the necessary action. We can also take, because our solution is a self-remediating solution. It can trigger MFA as and when it find the permission, riskiest permission or the riskiest role is having access to more than required. Okay, so with this, basically this PAM audit report is purely created on the basis of users human behavior, or users, you can say, personality trait, say personality traits. So we feed users personality trait and cognitive load to our AI model, and would depend and using that AI model, we create this PAM audit report. Yeah, thank you.